Hey guys, this is Eric Metamar with UltimateInvestorSystem.com. One of the things I'm going to start doing is going into some of the real estate investing forums online and answering a few of the questions. Normally, I can't answer them very thoroughly as I don't type that well. I hate typing, in fact, and I can't really outsource typing to anybody else. So I'll go in via video, read the question, give a decent answer, and hopefully help a few people out in the meantime. Today the question I'm going to answer is, if I were purchasing a property to wholesale to an investor, what wording would I incorporate into the purchase contract that would let me out of the contract if I could not find an investor to purchase the property? Thank you for your responses. All right. It looks like it's Tina in Oklahoma. Tina, the absolute best thing to put in there is, at least I found this to be true, is to put in an inspection contingency. It's going to read something along the lines of, the buyer has the right to inspect the property for 10 days within the signing of this agreement. Anytime within the 10 days that the buyer deems the inspections what is the word? I'm going off the top of my head here with the legal jargon. Unsatisfying to the buyer, then I can get out of this purchase and the contract becomes null and void. The key things are, now you're going to want to go on, find someone who's already has the legal stuff written. I've got it in my contracts, but I don't have my contracts in front of me. And I definitely can't pull legal off the top of my head. But what I would suggest doing is always including an inspection clause in there. And the reason that I like the inspection clause so much versus any of the other clauses is because the inspection clause is completely dependent upon your opinion. And that is a very, very important thing when you're talking about being down on a contract for something, because and this is actual cases that have happened here in Michigan. People will put on there, this contract's contingent upon buyer obtaining financing. Now, all's cool if all of a sudden you don't want to buy and you think that you can't get financing or you're going to bluff the seller. It seems like it would work every time. The problem is if the seller elects to push the matter and say, well, I need you to prove that you're unfinanceable, then you have only two choices. One, ruin your credit, or two, face the thought of getting sued from the seller for not following through on the contract. And this has actually happened because people expect you to follow through on the contracts, and if you're trying to mamsy-pamsy out by saying, oh, I can't be financed, when you can, a seller might want to push the issue, and then you'd have to go out because of, you'd either have to get taken to court or drop your credit. So I would encourage you not to do that way. The inspection clause is just, it's completely dependent upon your opinion, which is, say that 5 times fast. Oh, it's completely dependent upon your opinion, so it doesn't really matter what the seller thinks, as long as you say, hey, I don't like the property, and then you're out. Now, another strategy that you can use, this works fantastically well if you're lacking deposit money and you have a seller who insists on you giving it. You can actually make the deposit money come due when you exercise your release of the inspection clause. That means that later on down the road, if you've got your seller and you got your buyer, then you can take your buyer's deposit money or a portion thereof, make sure it's non-refundable, and give it to the seller as your deposit money on the deal. That's going to enable you to get into the deal, no money down, and still make a happy seller because you took care of the deposit money issue. The other thing is so I've mentioned stay away from the financing deal. Stick with the inspection. The other thing is the only clause on the contract that matters most is the one that goes the longest. So make your inspection clause go the longest. Don't put in a bunch of BS ones. If my partner approves the deal, because basically from a seller standpoint, you're coming in and saying, "Oh, I'm the big guy, I'm the big shooter, woo woo woo. I can make this happen. Let me tell you about how great I am, how I put deals together. But if I can't, then I need to be able to get out." Whereas an inspection is completely understandable, because how are you supposed to know what kind of shape the property's in, and a seller can understand that. The other thing that's kind of cool with that is banks will allow you to do inspections on a property. Many times they're going to require you to, of course, put a deposit in ahead of time, usually $500 to $1,000. There are ways around that, but um, you're still going to be able to inspect the property. So that about does it for this one. I will be back tomorrow, answer one more question, but to answer your question, put in an inspection clause that it's going to be dependent upon your opinion. Give yourself 10 days. Back out if you have to. Do line up your buyers ahead of time. Thank you and have a great day.